What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Mark here with the Better Mark. Let's get into the picks for Friday, November 8th in the NBA. We'll be breaking it down here live from Las Vegas. I'm here for a gambling tournament where you can win $100,000 cash. I got like 1 out of 100 shots. So wish me luck. And we are staying at New York, New York. Not the Bellagio this time because it is closer, extremely more closer to the casino. And I'm bringing a guest. So, traveling is a little bit of an issue with who I'm with, and just want to make it the best case possible so we can go to and from, so I can get to the tournament and back with ease. Okay, so let me know your favorite casino to stay at in Las Vegas when you guys are here, but back twice in 1 month, so this is going to be a good one. We had some fun late last night, so apologies if the content's a little bit delayed. The time zones really do get me east to west, so I'm going to try to get these out actually in the evening, so that way it's just better for everyone. Okay, let's get into the picks. Remember, guys, like, comment, and subscribe. I watch these videos every day, and I see how many people are not subscribed, so make sure you guys all click that button. It's totally free, and be sure to hop on over to the Discord and follow me on X, all that good stuff, and let's get down into the picks. Okay, we are going to look at the first game on the card, and I do use Outlier to break down these games and talk about the match details and all the insight with the publics versus the pros. And this is where we look in the first game with Orlando and New Orleans. Okay, this game for me, guys, is a storyline where I think that Orlando is just not the team that they used to be. Without Banchero back, I think that this is a game where you have to almost take the 6 points with the Pelicans. However, I don't trust the Pelicans. Zion's Zion healthy is just about the same as Zion unhealthy. Okay, you just never know with what you're going to get. Hamstrings questionable once again. McCollum remains out. We do have Dejounte Murray and Trey Murphy out. A lot of their big starters to go along with Wendell Carter and Paolo Banchero for the Magic remain out. So we saw both of these teams kind of they're just kind of really treading water right now, and they cannot seemingly get out of their own way. Orlando has dropped 5 straight, 2-7 ATS. This is a kind of a game where I think both of these teams have very similar storylines. So if you are going to bet this game, I think that you could either just bet the home team or you could take the points. Okay, and that's kind of where I lend to. Depending on this injury report, I don't like to bet the Pelicans for that reason, but you're almost better off betting the +6.5 just to take that value in case something does happen where you get some inactives. I'd rather have the points in a kind of game where nothing's really on the line for either side. So lean towards New Orleans, no play for me. Indiana and the Charlotte Hornets. Okay, this is a game where I am going to go after the Pacers here in this spot. We can talk about kind of what's going on in this game. You can see kind of Charlotte limping in as well. They have some severe injury news. But we talk about the Pacers laying 6.5 on the road. For me, this is a play on the fact that I do believe the Pacers are very bullish on them. Charlotte, they were able to, they don't really score many points, and these totals have seemingly been lower. However, I do like the Pacers here. Charlotte winning 2 out of their last 5. We have a lot of injuries again for the Charlotte Hornets. For the Pacers on that side, we do only have Naismith and Isaiah Jackson will be out as well as James Wiseman for the Pacers, obviously out for the season with those Achilles tears, which is completely unfortunate. But this is kind of what I went into for this game, and for some reason I got this glare, so apologies on that one. Okay, but I just think that the Charlotte Hornets, this is kind of where I look for them to not cover the spread. Like, this is the number here that I really want to share with you guys. 1-5, so 16% at their last 6 games at home. For me, this is pretty much a straight up play on the Charlotte Hornets just losing at home. Horrible home record. I think that we can grab the 6.5 with the Pacers on the road. Take them. That will be my favorite bet of the earlier games that we have tipping off at 7 p.m. Eastern. Okay, next one we're going to get into, and I'm trying to navigate this glare, so please excuse me. The Hawks Pistons, no play for me. Lean towards the over. Cunningham, Trae Young, it's kind of where we're at. Pistons at home, 4-18 versus 3-18. This is a coin flip game. If you guys think you can bet this game, go for it. I just think that for me, in my money better spent, it's something where I'm going to look into the over more so than the side. We have seen a lot more of the money on the Pistons, and that's seemingly right. You get basically a coin flip game at home between teams that very much resemble each other. Statistically, too, it's right on par. No defense there for the Hawks. So if you do like Detroit, look into their team total over. But I do like the whole game at 227.5. Okay, next game we will have a play in, and we're going to have a couple plays in. This will be Dallas. I'm laying the money line, minus 135, and I do like a minus 2.5 as well if you get it close to even money. But I think that the money line minus 135 is the better option. You can see the majority of the handle is on the Mavericks as well at home. For me, this is a bet where I just truly like the Dallas Mavericks in the spot. Phoenix, it's a team that I don't like, quite frankly, betting on. And this is something where I'm trying to do this. Yeah, you can see kind of the metrics on the right side of your screen. Dallas is sneakily jockeying for position with the NFL. I'm sorry, with the NBA ranks. You can see this right now. They're fifth in points. When we talk about defense here, fifth in points allowed for the Mavericks defense, going against that Phoenix offense that is kind of healthy for the first time in a long time. But we have the Phoenix Suns coming into town. I think that this is where we get a better look, a better defense, home team. I just think that when it comes down to the edge for the Suns, the only thing really glaringly in our way is just if Dallas is going to be able to rebound the basketball. Both of these teams, that's what they look to do. Phoenix looks to be a little bit better in rebounds, but it's something where it's something I just don't think it's an issue. The biggest thing that I can take away from these games is they're essentially pretty darn close when they stack up next to each other. Okay, there's nothing really that I look for in both of these teams that just jumps off the page at me. Okay, so for me, as long as Dallas doesn't go cold from the field, we get a great matchup. Kyrie going against Kevin Durant. That's always a fun time. And the 5-3 Mavericks, I'm going to take them against the surging Suns, 7-1 overall as they come into this road spot where I think that we do get a better look here within laying it with Dallas at home. So that'll be my first bet that I do want to share with you guys in terms of just the money line. But let's get back into the action. And then we're going to look into the Brooklyn-Boston game. Boston, for my money, this is something where it's absolutely insane what they've been able to do. And I don't even think they're at their level of kind of expectation, right? I think that there's a lot more that they can do down the road. 7-2 ATS, 7-2 straight up. For me, this is kind of where you look at kind of Boston steaming out, okay? Losing. They lost 118-112 against Golden State. A lot of people will be on Boston just in a back-to-back kind of spot coming home. Back-to-back at home. And then it's just something the Nets have been a great cover team. 4-4 on the season, 6-2 ATS. I do think there's a avenue where, hey, Friday night, we get a little action here. I think that the Celtics could end up steaming away with this, but there is a little bit of a steam coming in on the Brooklyn Nets. I could see it. I think that the public side is going to be taking the Celtics here. That's a big number, plus 13.5. And I think right now in the market, if you want to get into that revenge narrative, okay, we lost at home, embarrassing, we're going to come out strong. I don't buy that stuff. You'll lose more bets and you'll win doing it. And I do like the Nets here, plus 13.5. If I was going to bet the game, and defensively, if you get a team that does not stack up well against small forwards, getting to the basket, transition, I always look to attack those teams by taking Boston over the team total. Brooklyn is not one of those teams, in my opinion. And if you're going to bet props in this game, it's happened already to me a couple times with bets I gave out. Don't fall victim to fourth quarter no-shows if the game gets out of hand. So in these games where you do see 13.5, anything really over 10, these are games I usually stay away from a prop perspective, just due to the fact that we may not get any appearance by these starters in the fourth quarter. Okay, the next game, and probably the most notable game, kind of bummed I have to do what I have to do. I'm going to be missing this one. The Golden State Warriors and the Cleveland Cavaliers, 9-0 for the Cavs. Shout out to them. This is kind of impressive if we look into this a little deeper. And forgive me for what I said, but okay, yeah. Golden State did drop a game. For some reason, I thought Golden State might have been undefeated, but no. They come in here 7-1. They're going on the road, and Golden State has been a very good road team here in the spot. This is very hard for me not to take Golden State. Okay, a lot of people here love the whole, love the whole Cleveland narrative, right? With Draymond, Steph, all this stuff where Clay's off the team now, so that's a little different. But Golden State's revamped, and this was a rivalry for the better part of it. And now we have a narrative with Kenny Atkinson, former Golden State coach, now hosting the Cavaliers in the spot. A little bit of a motivational point, but I think it's all love there. I don't really look into that too much as an angle. For me, though, this is something where I do expect some points, okay? Over 230, I was able to bet. That's probably one of my best bets. And I do like the Golden State Warriors here traveling in this spot, getting 4.5. I think this is a sucker bet, but I'm taking it. It's too many points. I think that we do see a motivated performance by Cleveland. But I think that when we look into kind of where we're at, it's where I would lend towards taking Golden State on the money line plus 165. I think that's the better side to be on. Cavs minus 4.5. It's just a fishy number. Okay. But the best bet I could give out for you guys here is the over 230. I don't really want to take either side because there's really no reason to. Okay. There's no reason to bet against the Cavs losing. This is the toughest task that they've had since the Knicks, in my opinion. And now this is where they have a chance to get their first loss of the season. Eventually, they're going to pop that cherry. It's going to happen, and then they're going to get out of the way. And they almost want it to happen. Okay, it's a cloud on their head, and that's kind of where I like Golden State on here on the money line. I think they can get it done. However, I do think the over 230 was what I was able to bet last night. That was the number that I really did like, and that's probably one of my best bets of the evening. All right, Bucks, Knicks. Knicks seemingly can take care of business in this one. I think that the Bucks have a very horrible situation going on. Okay, Mike Holzer. I think he's laughing somewhere, but he's also kind of empathizing with these players. The Bucks 2-6. I know it's a long season. The interesting thing about the Bucks here, they are 8-0 to the total going over. The Knicks are 6-1 to the number. So I do think this is a game where we have seen the market adjust, but 223, it's not there yet. So if you want to take over 223, that would be my strongest play for the Bucks Knicks game. Stay away from the side. Milwaukee plus 7.5. That's a sucker bet. If anything, I think the Knicks blow them out. And I'm not a big Knicks guy. I don't like the Knicks with what they did within Karl-Anthony Towns. I don't really see that all vibing too well. And at 3-4, it's going to take some time. But the numbers here defensively back me up. Tom Thibodeau, defensive coach. But if we dive into this game a little bit more so with that Knicks defense, okay, they're 13th in points allowed, 26th in field goal percentage, and they are limiting three-pointers there. But the Bucks, it's kind of just a mixed bag. I think this is one where the Bucks are going to really be in trouble in this game, okay? Depending on what they have going on with their injuries, if Giannis suits up, I'm sure he will Friday, Madison Square Gardens. Why not? I would. And that's kind of where I look for the New York Knicks in this spot to potentially cover. But I do think that the biggest thing we have going for us is the total, okay? So that's where I'm going to be at in that matchup, all right? Next, let's get into the Houston Rockets and the Oklahoma City Thunder. For me in this spot, guys, I do favor the Rockets. It's kind of a bad spot for OKC, in my opinion. However, I could see the Thunder winning after that loss a couple days ago on the road against Denver. So looking for them to come out strong. We do still have Jalen Williams out, which is a key piece for the OKC team. But the Thunder and the under do not go hand in hand. So I also lean towards the over 4-4 on the season towards getting points here, but 7-1, 6-2 ATS. The Rockets 5-3 and 5-3, 5-3 ATS total and straight up. So Houston plus 8.5. That's kind of where I think the value is. But I do think that there's an issue where we do see a lot of bets come in here on the Thunder. I think that's where the majority of the money is. If we look at the betting splits, as we look at the handle here, 72 versus 28. So a little bit of an edge towards taking the Thunder here with the minus 8.5, as well as the under if we do want to go under 221.5. So this is a no play for me. However, I think I would grab the Thunder here off of a loss. 72% of the money kind of backs me up. Thunder minus 8.5. You can find -8s juiced up out there in the market. That would be my best bet of the day, despite me liking the 8.5 for Houston. I just think it's a get-right game for the Thunder here as they look to go 8-1. Okay. Next, sorry about that glare. Wow, that's kind of really bad. Next, we're going to get into the Wizards-Grizzlies game. No play for me. Washington plus 6.5 kind of is tempting, but the Memphis Grizzlies have been looking to be that team right now, taking care of business. We saw kind of the performance that they had against the Lakers, and I think that's kind of what drove it home for me personally. But we look at kind of John Morant and his return. I know that Washington, they're a scrappy bunch as well, but this is a weird game because I don't think we're going to get John Morant in this spot. Okay, after beating the Lakers 131-114, we still have a lot of their key players out. The Wizards here, Kuzma remains out, Brogdon is out. 5-1 to the over/under, and the Memphis Grizzlies 9-0 to the over/under. So that's kind of an interesting little betting trend there. Okay, so for me, guys, this is a stay away game. John Morant's out. I think it's a bad game to handicap. If anything, I would take the 6.5 or 7 within the Wizards if we're going to go against that streak. Okay, Heat Nuggets. The Heat getting 3.5 here on the road in Denver. This is a tough spot for me because I want to bet the Denver Nuggets. I just don't trust them right now in the season. I want to see a couple games where, with Jamal Murray kind of dealing with what he's dealing with. And then, this is just looking to be a different Jokic team early. Okay. I just don't think he's doing what we're accustomed to him doing. I think that the steam has been on the Heat a little bit, 2-5 against the number. The Nuggets here, this is something interesting, 6-2 to the over. I think that Bam Adebayo has to play a lot in this spot. I think he has a huge game, but we are going to go Bam Adebayo. We are going to take the over in the assist market. Over 2.5 is my best bet. We'll look here at the prop market. The Denver Nuggets are 30th, allowing the most, almost the most assists in the association. And he's been gradually trending up. I know it's a lot of juice, but for me, this is kind of where I'm at. I'm going to lay about 280 here. Over 2.5 assists, I'm going to lay about 280 to make 200. Kind of just where I'm going to throw at it. It's just a prop I really like. In the NBA, I do find props a lot more juiced up, and I have no problem laying with them as long as some of the crazy doesn't happen, people don't get hurt. I kind of have a little sweet spot where I do like to bet NBA props in that like -135 to -170 range. It's just kind of how I do it. A lot of people probably think I'll be in left field on that one, but in the same game parlay kind of arena, I do pretty well doing that. Okay. But that's kind of be my best bet for this Heat Nuggets game. The next game we're going to look into Portland, Minnesota. We won't have a play in this game. I don't like it. I quite frankly just can't handicap the Timberwolves right now. 12.5 is too big of a number. Portland, this could be a 25-point game or a 2-point game. Okay, just how I feel about it. The total is kind of set in a weird spot. Portland doesn't score well. 219.5. It says how many points does Minnesota get in garbage time? Okay, so if I had to play it, it would be Minnesota laying 12, but no official play. And then we have 2 more games to talk about. Philadelphia within the Lakers. Maxi's out. It's a chalky Lakers spot at home. I'm not buying into it. 76ers are a great cover team, albeit being 1-6 on the season. And you can look at this and say, is this 76ers squad, is this a bigger problem right now than what we have going on for other teams that are struggling, such as the Bucks? I don't really know who's in worse shape, but for me, guys, it's 76ers plus 7.5 or nothing. Fade the narrative here. Maxi's out. A lot of people are going to say, oh, the 76ers have nothing. Bet the Lakers, and then boom, this will be a close game down the stretch. Okay, Clippers, Kings, another game where I'm not going to touch. It's over or nothing. Kings are an over team. Kings are an over team, and the Clippers are an under team. So what does that mean? We're going to go with the over here in the spot. I think this is where we get a good number here, a sizable number. And it's 223.5. I think it's very doable. Kind of the midpoint for NBA, 223 to 227 is kind of what I look into. And Clippers plus 7, that seemingly is the value as well. So no play for me in that. I just want to tell you guys where I'm at within the later slate. I won't be betting that. I do also have a couple more props I'll share with you guys. Luka, we're going to go under the 9.5 rebounds. Looking into this number, I know he's been sniffing it with 9. But last 2 games out, 7-7, and then now going against Phoenix, I think it's going to be a game where he potentially gets a little bit better of a stat line. I'm going to roll the dice here. You just never know. The only thing that worries me here is the minutes. Okay, and we're going to talk about that because in the game that 31, 32. 37, 33, and then one game against Indiana, he had 42.4, which I was shocked he didn't get against Indiana. But I do think this is a spot where we do get Luka still remainingly under that 10 rebound mark. So has not had that double-double with the rebound, and he's averaging a little bit less at home. Okay, so that's kind of where we're going to take a little gambit on the under 9.5 rebounds for Luka, and then we can find Jalen Suggs here in the market. I love betting blocks. I love betting steals. And this is the sweet spot as well. Over the half block at -135, dating back to the 26th of October. He's got at least one block in 7 games in a row. So we go against the Pelicans here where they are 28th in blocks allowed. So love it. A very plus matchup for us here in the spot. And that will be a wrap up of my best bets. And I will share with you guys kind of what we have going on within the picks. I'll pull up my screen because this was a choppy video. I apologize for the glare and everything and the roller coaster noise. But we are going Cleveland, Golden State over 200, Pacers -6.5, Mavericks. I do like the money line here, -135, a little bit better. And then we're going to go Luka under the 10 rebounds, Bam over 2.5 assists, Jalen Suggs, you get 1 block. Okay, that's my NBA picks. Appreciate you guys. If you have not done so, make sure you all like, comment, and subscribe. Cheers to that sunshine. There we go. All right. And wish me luck today. Going to take down that $100,000 pot. And we'll see you guys all later on for some football that we'll have. I'm going to try to get this one out on Friday night so you have some more time with the time change, and that way nobody has an issue. All right. Appreciate it. Good luck. We'll see you in the next video. Cheers.